Hi, Dr. Yass here. In this episode, I want to talk about a fact that seems to be missing in terms of all of you out there getting your diagnoses through diagnostic tests like x rays and MRIs. And that is the idea that over 28 years and thousands of people that I have treated, I have been able to show that in more than 99.9999999999999% of cases, the cause of pain is not where the pain is being experienced. Let me say it again. The cause of the pain, the tissue in distress eliciting the pain you're experiencing, is not where the pain is that you're experiencing. Now, this is very problematic if true, if the way the medical system looks at identifying the cause of your pain as, oh, you have pain at your knee? Okay, I'm going to look directly at it and see if I can figure out what's wrong with it. I'm really not too interested in your whole body. If you have pain at your knee, I'm just going to try to see if I can figure out what's wrong with your knee at your knee. That's the way the system works. You know that to be true because if you have neck pain, you get a neck MRI. If you have knee pain, you get a knee MRI. If you have hip pain, you get a hip MRI. Shoulder pain, shoulder MRI, right? Everyone knows that's the theory. The problem is that the way the body works in real life, in the real world, not the magical world of the medical establishment that is self-derived by their determination to just use diagnostic testing. In the real world, the body works as couplings, things working together. Nothing is isolated. And so typically when something breaks down, it causes something else to have to compensate. And that thing eventually breaks down and elicits a symptom. So for instance, I'll just give you examples. If you're having pain in the upper trap region, that's the upper trap muscle, but deep to it is the levator scapula. And the levator scapula, although in what most people perceive as the cervical region or neck region, that muscle, levator scapula, means elevate the shoulder blade. So it's actually attached to the shoulder blade and helps to hold the shoulder blade against the rib cage so that muscles that move the shoulder can attach from the arm to the shoulder blade and move the shoulder. Well, if other shoulder blade stabilizing muscles break down, that can cause the levator scapula to overwork and elicit pain. So although you're having pain here, the cause of the pain is associated with muscles in the shoulder region. So the cause is not where the symptom is being experienced. Let's talk about the knee joint. You have pain around your kneecap. The cause or the tissue in distress is not structure of the knee. It's typically associated with the front thigh muscle, the quad, which happens to be attached to the kneecap via the quad tendon, and it is responsible for moving the kneecap through the knee joint as you are allowed to straighten and bend your knee. If there's some problem in the force output of the quad, there's going to be some alteration of the kneecap in the knee joint or the tension on the kneecap. This is what leads to make it rub in a way that it shouldn't and elicit pain at the knee joint. Again, pain at the knee joint, the cause somewhere else other than the knee joint. We could take the idea of, what's another one? We could look at the shoulder, right? So you might be having pain in the front of your arm here. You're having pain right in the front here. But the reason you're having pain in the front is not because something's wrong in the front, it's actually in the back of the shoulder. So the ability of the arm bone to be raised at the elbow is based on the head of the arm bone coming down. It has to drop down. If it goes up at the time the elbow's going up, then it's going to impinge on your bicep tendon and you're going to get pain in the front of the shoulder. But this is being caused by the inability of the head of the arm bone to drop because a muscle in the back of the shoulder, part of the rotator cuff, is not working properly. So again, the cause of the pain is actually in the back of the shoulder. Where the symptom is being experienced is the front of the shoulder. Probably the most extreme case of this is plantar fasciitis. pain at the underside of the heel. So you have pain at the underside of the heel, and who do you go to? You go to the podiatrist because you have pain in your foot. And he he looks at your heel and says, let me see if I can figure out what's causing that pain. And he's staring at your heel. And he'll address your heel, right? Or she'll address your heel. That's not the answer. Plantar fasciitis is caused by a weak hip muscle, which is responsible for allowing you to weight bear through the middle of your foot. If it weakens, you shift your body weight a little bit, you end up weight bearing through the inside of the foot, where the arch is. That stresses the muscles that support the arch. They eventually strain, and the arch weakens and collapses, separating or increasing the distance between the balls of the feet and the heel. That's what the plantar fascia attaches to, so it becomes overstretched and elicits pain at its attachment to the heel. So this is the farthest, as far as I've ever experienced, the farthest distance between the cause and where the symptom is being experienced. The cause is at the hip region. Where the symptom is being experienced is the heel. So I've just given you multiple examples of the fact that the cause of symptoms in 99.99999999999% of cases is not where the symptom is being experienced, and yet you will be diagnosed through the medical establishment by getting a diagnostic test like X-ray or MRI at the exact point where the pain is being experienced. And then you wonder why your pain is never resolved. Why all the treatments, all the visits, all the different practitioners you go to, all the devices, all the salves, the creams, the shots, why nothing's worked. Because they're just trying to address the cause of your symptoms where it is experienced. And as I've described, pretty much in almost every case, the cause is not where the symptom is being experienced. So the reason I do these videos is because you could go on all these different social media platforms and you basically just see people, millions of people struggling with the fact that they're having pain, and they seem almost resigned to it, which is sad, extremely sad. You see people saying, oh, I have L4, L5 nerve root impingement for 10 years and I keep trying and nothing works. Oh, I've had knee pain. I can't go upstairs. I can't do this. I can't play with my kid. And it's been 5 years. And it's almost as if they've been given this tiny little bit of information. There's your pain. Here's the structural variation we're going to say is the cause of your pain, and that's where it ends. So as long as that's all you know, in fact, people seem to replace their name with their diagnosis. I'm a meniscal tear. I'm stenosis. I'm a rotator cuff tear. And they literally have created their identity around the diagnosis, which is incredibly sad. But that's what's happened because that's their future. Everything they do going forward after it is trying to figure out how to fix that diagnosis. But the diagnosis is wrong. That's what they don't know. And so the purpose of these videos is to help you understand why, based on that diagnosis, it's been months or years that you're still in pain. It's because the diagnosis is wrong. And the derivation of the diagnosis is wrong. Diagnostic tests don't work. I know the planet has tried to contrive this understanding over 40 years, but logic says it's wrong. And an alternative to it is interpreting the symptoms and understanding that causes of the symptoms are not where they are being experienced. Therefore, you have to look at the entire body to understand where the cause is. And that's what the Yass method is. So it's a method of diagnosing and treating through the interpretation of symptoms, which is what the tissue in distress is giving to allow you to know what tissue it is. And once you understand that, and in the fact that in more than 98% of cases, the cause of pain is muscular, it allows you to have the right diagnosis, do the appropriate treatment, and end the pain and allow the person to be pain-free and fully functional, and allow them to control that going forward as long as they sustain the appropriate exercise routine with the appropriate resistance for the muscles being worked. That's what the Yass method is. That's the alternative opportunity you have. Just recognize that the medical establishment is not a monopoly. They are one whole behemoth, no doubt about it. Staying within there and thinking you're going to get some legitimate alternative viewpoint is insanity. They put all their money, regardless of the specialty, on diagnostic tests as the means of identifying the cause of your symptoms. And again, if you notice, if you have pain at your knee, you go to a knee specialist. If you have back pain, you go to a back specialist, right? If you go to you have pain in your foot, you go to a podiatrist. Well, what if I'm right? What if the cause of the foot pain is coming from the hip? How's the podiatrist going to figure that out? It's not. You're going to be left with cortisone shots and inserts forever and ever, and you're still going to have your pain. You're going to be miserable, and you're now going to forget what your name is and attach your name to whatever your diagnosis is, and you live for the rest of the life as a herniated disc, stenosis, a pinched nerve, a meniscal tear. That's who you are. And you just go on blogs and you search for some answer, but you're searching in places where it's still part of the medical behemoth. And as a result of that, you just stay in pain indefinitely. If you want to try something new, you go to the Yass method. It is completely outside of it. It has a different diagnostic model, and it is based on pure, irrefutable science. So if this is interesting you and you want to contact me, you could do so at Dr. Mitch at mitchellyass.com. That'll be in the description. If you would like to utilize the Yass method, you have to realize that it doesn't have to be done in person in Jacksonville, Florida. For 5, 6, 7 years now, I've been doing teleconferencing through Skype and now through Zoom. So you could get a Yass method Zoom session regardless of where you are in the world. You just go to my website, livewithoutpains.com/sessions, and you can pick a day and time that's most comfortable for you. And we can do an evaluation and treatment. The great news is the sessions are videotaped, so you use that going forward to make sure that you're doing what you need to correctly. We recommend having 4-week follow-up sessions to make sure that everything is going as scheduled, as we'd expect it to go, so that within a very short period of time, you are pain-free, fully functional, and have control over maintaining that for the rest of your life. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. If you like my YouTube channel, Dr. Mitchell Yass, please subscribe to get notifications when new videos like this are added. You'll notice that all of these videos are informational, they're applicable, they're helping you understand what you need to know to get the path to the quality of life that you so justly deserve. For now, this is Dr. Mitchell Yass, wishing you a pain-free, fully functional life. Bye-bye for now.